Hi, and welcome to the Top Tap Live Hour, aka Sparky's Live Hour, episode 1. We've got 6 acts going to play a couple of tracks live for us tonight. It's the first time, so hopefully the sound and everything's fine. Coming up first, we've got Mr. Rich Chambers. Rich, how are you? Good?
Good. How are you, Sparky?
Yeah, good, thanks. Good. Could you just introduce yourself, and then you've got 2 tracks for us tonight, Rich?
Yep. Rich Chambers from Vancouver, Canada. And I've been a singer-songwriter for, I don't know, since I was 14 years old, a long time. And that's what hooked me into music, songwriting more than anything. And the first song I want to play for you, I call Sorry Isn't Good Enough. A bit of a story behind it. It's kind of a funny story. I'd entered into a country fair in Washington State, just south of the border. And I had to come up with some country songs. And I needed something to just be me and my acoustic. So I sat down and I thought, okay, I got to write a country song. I started with, my pickup truck wouldn't start, the dog ran away, my wife left me, and I thought, man, that's too stereotypical. So I shifted it up and I came up with this ambiguous song that's sorry isn't good enough for what I've done. And you never really know what the person feels, what they did, what they feel sorry for. So the idea behind it is that everybody can relate to. Everybody's had something they've done, somebody that wronged somebody, a friend, a lover, a family member. And I tried to make it relatable. And the funny thing is, I went into this competition and I sang my song, and I did okay that day. I finished 5th. That's why I always tell people 5th. The problem is there were only 5 contenders that day. So there we go. I recorded it with a full band, needless to say. But anyway, here's my acoustic version.
Can't wait to hear it, Rich.
They told me there's nothing more I can say, there's nothing more I can do. I've done enough to push you away. You're fed up, you're tired. I never wanted to walk on out on you. There was so much wrong, it was the only right thing to do. I know, Lord, I know. Sorry isn't good enough for what I've done. I wish I could go back in time and change the things I've done. I know I've crossed love's fine lines, and things just can't be undone. I never wanted to hurt our love this way. Words aren't enough, but still I need to say, I know, Lord, I know. Sorry isn't good enough for what I've done. I know we're all but done. It's just so hard because I know you so. I have to face myself and live with how I let it all go. I know, Lord, I know. Sorry isn't good enough for what I've done. Sorry isn't good enough for what I've done. Sorry isn't good enough for what I've done.
Absolutely fantastic, Rich. We'll just let you crack on with the second one, brother.
There we go. Oh, still my guitar's a little flat, but the hell with it.
Awesome, dude. Awesome.
That's rock
So
and
you've
roll.
got one more, Rich. What's the next one,
One more.
brother?
This next song, I wrote this you guys as musicians, you all can relate to this. I know you can relate to this. I lost my mom suddenly years ago, a car accident. She was hit crossing the road. And like all of us musicians, you know, I went through that moment where I grieved with this baby right here. And I'm sure you all can relate. We've all been there, certain situations, whatever the case may be. These suckers, whether it be this ukulele, piano, harmonic, whatever the hell it is, helps us get through these times. And I wrote this song in honor of my mom about 3 or 4 weeks after it happened.
Nice.
When you were 21 and the world was yours, life was but a dream of so much more. Soon you were married and you had 3 boys. Oh, how your family gave you joy. Times they got tough and you rode the storm. There's 3 little boys, they needed a home. Now all your strength, it will live on. 3 young men who love their mom. Oh, how I look to hold your love forever. While your heart you touch it will live on. When I gaze at your photo, I will remember to hold your memory. I love you, Mom. To live your memory, I love you, Mom. To hug your memory, I love you, Mom.
Hey, man. God bless you, Rich. Rest in peace, Mrs. Chambers, man. It must have been hard to relive the memories there. And beautiful. Let's all get a wee compliment in here.
You know, it's interesting. That's, you know, music is what gets you through. And you
Hey,
know, I
man.
messed up a chord at the end. Sorry, Mom, I messed up a chord at the end, but you know, it happens.
Let's start from Mickey. What was your thoughts there on the 2 lovely tracks, Mickey Jerry in Scotland?
Absolutely, I love them. I can totally relate to using music for grief and stuff like that. I totally get it. It was a great song. 2 of them are great songs. Great musician, man. Well done.
Well said, Mickey. If you don't know Mickey yet, Jerry, check him out. He's my good friend in Scotland, and Mickey's been through some. I'm going to say it for you. Mickey lost his little boy only a few months ago. He was a baby boy, so he's been on his guitar and he's used to. He knows probably more than most about picking the guitar up to help
Sorry,
you
Mickey,
grief.
sorry to hear that, buddy. That's tough.
Cool, man.
Glenn McLeod in Vancouver.
Yeah.
My neighbor.
Wow.
Where's my neighbor?
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, great stuff, Rich. And I love the first track. I love the story about writing it for a country song. And
Yeah.
I also relate to not wanting to just put the ladle into the cliche bucket there. So yeah, that's really great. And it's a great song. I've heard the other version too, and they're both great. So a good
Thank
song is a good song acoustically as well, of course, right?
Thank you.
And your second song, I totally relate to. And Mickey, sorry to hear what you've gone through. I lost my older brother, a few years ago. Same thing, guitar right away.
Yeah.
I wrote a song that was, you know, it was pretty. It was different. It kind of came out different. It was not, you know, it was from a different place. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So, but it sure
That's how we
helped.
get.
And
That's
then,
how we get through this stuff, eh? Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, what a gift, and a real gift that music gives us is that opportunity, right? So
Yeah.
among many. So yeah, great stuff.
Thanks, Glenn. Thank you.
Rich, your mum will be so proud of you, man. You're like the perfect son to have. Honestly, if anybody had a son like you and they grew up, you know, she'd be looking down here with a big smile on her face.
Well, I've got to do a full version of that song. It's been stewing with me for about 20 years, so I recorded one version years and years ago, but it's not worthy of putting out. I got to do another version of it because it's there's a lot more to it. That was the shortened version. It's about 2.5, 3 minutes long. I gave you about a minute. So.
Look forward to it. Kirsty and then Steve. Kirsty.
Hey, Rich. I love all your music. It's always It's always got a little bit of cheekiness in there, I always think, with your tracks. But that song you wrote for your mum, beautiful, lovely track.
Thank you. I used that one to audition in America's Got Talent. So, but they didn't pick me. Damn those guys.
You're above that.
I seen
Thank
that
you.
video. I seen that video, Rich. I actually added it to your best of Rich Chambers article at the bottom of it. Did you see that one?
Oh, you saw the audition? You put the audition video in.
I'm sure it's right. I put about
Yeah.
15 videos in it, and I think that was the one at the bottom because it was.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
I
it's
forgot
nice.
that's online. My audition for America's Got Talent. I got that online. I forgot about that.
Good question, Kirsty. Steve Andrews and Mark Story, the green beard, the red beard.
Yeah, Rich, I just thought that they were really great songs, you know, and you know how you played them, the lyrics, everything.
Thanks,
Just
Steve.
top singer-songwriter you are, you know, you got it.
Thank you. My
Well-
voice is a little gravelly today, and you know, I'm holding back. They're all both those songs were down a couple keys from what I usually do because I don't want to kill the neighbors. I don't want to get kicked out.
Here, you can always do it in the park next week, Rich. Just get a
That's
set
why
up in the
I started going to the park because I don't. I get one girl came by, wanted to give me money. She thought I was busking yesterday.
Good busker. Mr. Story in London.
Hiya, Rich. How you doing?
Good.
You
How are you,
know I
Mark?
love. I'm good,
Yeah, I love
brother.
you too,
I'm
buddy.
good.
My voice is nice
I
and
love you.
gravelly, perfect for your blues
Yeah,
today.
yeah. I'm looking for the trees, but you're obviously in your condos.
Yes, yes. I've got to
Right.
tame it down a little bit here. I don't like taming it down, as you guys probably know. For me, it's balls
Oh,
to the
no.
wall when I sing. So
Yeah. I didn't see the veins popping out on your neck like we were in the. Listen, I think you're a great songwriter. You're very
Thank you.
versatile. Everything you do is quality.
thank you.
And I can relate to the. I think it's beautiful. You wrote a song for your mum. I mean, done the same thing myself. I lost my mum a couple of hours after she gave birth to me.
Oh man, sorry.
Well, you know, made me the person I am today. And she's looking over me, and that's how I feel. You know, I think that when people pass on, I do genuinely believe their spirit
Yeah.
lives on in you. The hardest lyrics I've had to write for that song, and I got it done. But yeah, it's very personal. But it's a beautiful song, beautiful sentiment. As Sparky said, and everyone agrees. Like, you know, and to all the other guys who spoke tonight, your losses, you know, my feelings to you all. You know, big love. But yeah, great stuff, Rich, and brave man going first. Well done.
Thanks, Mark.
That's it. We'll go Tim and then Pretty, because Pretty's up next as well. So Tim Consley, Indiana.
Yes, I tell you what, Rich, you know I'm a big fan and I love your
Thanks, Tim.
music and like someone said a while ago, everything you do is just, it's top notch. It really
Thank you.
is.
Thank you.
Whether you're jamming out on electric guitar with a band behind you or it's acoustic guitar, whatever you do, man, I love the stuff out of everything that you do, brother. And
Thanks,
the
Mark.
song-
Thanks, Tim.
And the song about your mom, I can relate to that. I lost my mom almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's a hard thing to go through. So
That's the beauty of music, though, Tim. I mean, it binds us, connects us. How many people have songs that they attach to weddings, become that memory of a wedding, that become that memory at a birth or funeral? Everybody has to pick the exact song for a funeral. It's important to all of us
right,
because
it
songs
is.
live in ways that nothing else does. A song puts you exactly into a moment in something in a way that nothing else in this world does. And it transcends you, transcends us into that moment. It transcends us into the memory of my mother, your mother, you know, Tim's baby, or sorry, Lynn's baby. Sorry, who was it? Mickey. Sorry, Mickey. Mickey's baby. I mean, it puts us all right in that moment and with that individual that we love. That's the beauty of music.
Right. But I loved it. Good job.
Thanks, Tim.
Well said, Tim. Pretty, what was your thoughts on Rich there before we hear you play? Pretty?
I thought it was very emotional. Very nice.
Thanks,
And
Pretty.
you're a great performer.
Thank you. I don't feel so great today, so you guys are being very kind. Thank you.
Rich,
Good
you're world
skills.
class, dude. Rich Chambers, everybody. Rich Chambers from Vancouver.
Thanks, guys. I'll
Coming
mute. I
up
want to hear
next-
Pretty now. Let's.
Coming up next, we've got Pretty Bernicki from the Netherlands. And Pretty Bernice's plays her music. I'll let you introduce it, but she plays her music. God plays through her, and she's trying to make a difference in Iran at the moment for the people who's they're living through some terrible stuff. So, could you introduce yourself, Pretty? Could you introduce yourself?
Yes, hi, I'm Priti Bernike, coming from the Netherlands. I'm living up north, and I'm a pianist for about 20 years now. And I've tried to actually make a business of it for 20 years. And I must admit, I stepped out because I was too young and couldn't cope with all the difficulties. And it's quite a hard business. But I decided to come back after the pandemic. And well, anyway, I love doing it, and I'm having a great time. I started writing my own songs just a few years ago, and I'm trying to actually make a new album of my new songs, hopefully somewhere next year.
Oh, yeah, fantastic. I can't wait to see what's next. And just take the floor away, whether you want to play 2 songs or about around 10 minutes, just whatever you're comfortable with. You know, just yeah, take the floor when you're ready.
All right. I think I was going to start with a song that I wrote when the pandemic started, and I found myself in a situation that I everything stopped and I couldn't cope with it. And maybe you can hear it. Sometimes I felt like I'm going to try something, and then oh, it doesn't work. I have to stop and I have to try something else. And maybe you can hear it in my story. It's called The Search.
Nice. Absolutely
you.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Do you want to just do the second song and then we can all say something after it?
Yes, fine.
Yep. Just take the floor again. What's coming up next?
Thank you.
Absolutely wonderful. Do you want to just play two, or do you have one more in you? What did you plan? 2 or 3?
I can do another one. Depends. I
Yeah,
can.
one more song. One more song. One more song. Yeah, go for it. One more, Pretty.
Okay. I have to think actually, just a second.
No problem.
Because I don't know what to do.
Spring Waltz by Shopping.
I can try my new single. I haven't played it for a while, so it's a bit frightened, but I'm going to try. Thanks.
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much. Well, Tim's up next, so we'll give Tim the last compliment this time. We'll go Rich and then Class. Rich?
Freddie, I absolutely found myself just kind of transfixed by what you're playing. And it's amazing how different keys can make such a different emotive experience. The first one in the minor key right away. I mean, it sounded to me like a modern day sonata. It had the 3 movements going on there. Remind me of somewhat of Beethoven's Sonata 14, the Moonlight Sonata. Very, very expressive. And the recapitulation was brilliant. It was good composing, like really good composing. And your touch is so expressive. It's so emotive. I can just sort of feel your fingers going down on the keys. I'm absolutely loving it. It's hard to describe, but I'm sure the rest of you know exactly what I'm talking about. Something about the way you hit the keys, so much emotion, and well done. Well done. I love listening to you. I could keep on listening forever. It's great stuff.
Thank you so much.
Well said, Rich. That's why I said one more, dude. One more song. Class, would you like to say something? Class?
My English is not so good.
It's okay, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I hear her a lot. She's my wife, so that's it's perfect music. And also, I would say to Rich that the song he performed, what a great lyrics. That was also good. And yeah, Benicke, pretty Benicke. I love her. So yeah, what can I say?
Beautiful words. Beautiful words. Well said. Mr. Story, then Mr. Andrews.
Yeah, that was beautiful. I mean, the first song was really, really just relaxed me, and I haven't felt relaxed all day, but you relaxed me. And then you did another two songs that were equally as good. I think you're incredibly talented. I think your music speaks volumes, and just keep doing what you're doing. Fantastic. Thank you for sharing it with us.
Thank you so much.
And a huge welcome to the Pretty's just joined the music family, to Mickey, Tim, Glenn, Mark, Steve, Rich. She's a new member in the family, so support her where you can, guys. Steve Andrews.
Well, just beautiful music, beautifully played, you know, emotional. Somebody just said relaxing. It was all there, like, you know, it was just music with feeling.
Thank you so much, because that's what I really would like to give people, a relaxed feeling. I really wish that they can find some peace somehow in this, well, actually sometimes crazy world.
Yeah, the music was had a lot of feeling in it. That was what came over to me, and it came over to somebody else who just said earlier, and feeling is what you've got there.
Thank you so much.
You're
Well
welcome.
said. Glenn, then Kirsty.
Pretty, I loved it. And welcome to the family. Really, I felt like I was floating in a boat on an ocean. It was just really amazing. The first song, very emotional in the minor key, Rich mentioned. I love your use of, it felt like the bridge near the end of the song, the use of your triplets with your right hand. It was just so powerful. It just built such a wonderful tension. And then the release, you have a real gift for that in all the songs. But I found it particularly in the first song. Yeah, and just, yeah, the other songs, wonderful stuff. So you're a welcome. It's great to meet you. Yeah, lovely stuff. And yeah, please keep doing it. Don't give up. Stay strong.
So much for your warm words, for your kind words.
Well said, Glenn. Kirsty, then Mickey, then our next guest, Tim. Kirsty.
Hey, Pretty. Oh gosh, that was absolutely beautiful. I was literally mesmerized by your playing. I cannot wait to see you play live, like in a venue. So come to the UK or we'll come to Holland. 100%. Beautiful.
Thank you so much. Love to come to the UK though. I haven't been there anyway.
Need to make it happen.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Mickey in Scotland. Mickey?
Yeah, absolutely loved it. You're a great piano player. Total emotion. You carry your tone so well. Absolutely superb. Brilliant.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Consley, before your section, what's your thoughts here, Tim?
Well, everybody said the word. The word is beautiful. Your playing is so beautiful. And I tell you what, there's a lot of people who know how to play instruments, who know how to play piano, but not everybody can translate their heart and their soul from out of themselves through their hands to the musical instrument. And that you have, my dear. I mean, your heart and soul was in your music, and if everybody here didn't feel something when you played, then they're probably soulless anyway, but I doubt that. I know everybody here felt your music and felt your passion. Great job. I absolutely loved it.
Wow. I don't know what to say. I'm speechless. Thank you so much.
Well
You're
said.
most welcome.
Pretty, thanks for being a wonderful guest. It's just a short and sweet thing. This is a new format tonight. So Pretty Vernick, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. So coming up next, we've got Mr. Tim Consley in Indiana. So I'll just mute you now, Pretty, and you can enjoy. I'll mute you as well, class. So Tim, take the floor. I think Tim's going to sing 3 songs, so I'll just let him introduce them as they come here. So Tim, take the floor, brother.
All right. I'm doing something a little different today. I've been on here before with my acoustic guitar played, but I kind of today wanted to do what I do when I play solo. And that is, I have all of my songs, or most of them, in my tablet here, minus my lead vocals and minus my lead guitar. And so that's what I do when I go out and I play live. Everything else is on a backing track. Everything else you hear is still me. It's just pre-recorded. So I have just my guitar amp. I have a little small all-in-one PA system. And so, and I've got my regular mic out in the middle of the floor here. So we're capturing all the room. So enough said about that. The first song I'm going to do is called Don't Call Me. All my songs today are off of my Whoa Now Baby album. That's the one with the big horse on the front of it. And all the songs are off of it. But Don't Call Me is the first song. This song's about a really, really bad breakup. And guy basically tells the gal, just don't call me because it causes me too much pain. just stay gone now, baby. Don't wanna see you anymore. You just stay gone now, baby. I just don't wanna see you anymore. You just keep yourself away from here. Don't wanna see you at my door.
One
Thank
down,
you.
two to go. What's next, Mr. Consley?
We're gonna pick it up a little bit, and I'm gonna hope to get through this. But yeah, I'm going to play the song called "Gonna Come Over," and it's kind of a old rock and roll, kind of Chuck Berry stylish, mixed with a little blues. So here we go. Tell me now, baby, are you feeling right? Think I might come on over tonight. It's been so long since I've seen you. Ain't another thing that I want to do. Come on, Ellen, I will hold you tight. Baby, I'm coming over tonight. Come over. Baby, I'm gonna come over. Baby, I'm gonna come over. Baby, I'm gonna come over. Yeah, come over. Gonna come over tonight. Got the feeling, baby, it's about to fly. Cars so fast, tearing up the ground. Love to hear that engine make that moaning sound. Come on, girl, it'll be alright. Baby, I'm coming over tonight. Come over. Baby, I'm gonna come over. Oh, baby, I'm gonna come over. Baby, I'm gonna come over. Yeah, come over. Gonna come over tonight. Behind me that I had to pass. Girl, I'm making my way to you. Ain't another thing that I got to do. Up ahead, your house is inside. Baby, I'm coming over tonight. Come over. Baby, I'm gonna come over. Baby, I'm gonna come over. Baby, I'm gonna come over. Yeah, come over. Gonna come over tonight.
Brilliant, Tim, brilliant. 2 down, 1 to go. What's next, brother?
What's next is I'm gonna give me a drink real quick.
Some H2O.
The last song is called Do You Realize, Baby? And it basically is what it says. Do you realize, baby, that you're the one thing on my mind? So here we go.
Let's go.
Do you realize, baby, that you're the one thing on my mind? Do you realize, baby, that you're the one thing on my mind? I only wanna be with you. Don't you ever leave me behind. Don't you know now, baby, that I need you night and day? Don't you know now, baby, that I need you night and day? You know how much I love you. Never gonna let you get away.
Absolutely
you.
wonderful, Tim. Tim the Riff Man, Consley, everyone. Let's start from the bottom. He's always short and sweet. Mickey, Jerry, what was your thoughts here, brother?
Absolutely brilliant, man.
Thank you.
Everybody loves the blues. Can tell you're being reared on BB King. But
Thank
aye,
you.
absolutely superb.
Thank you very much.
Well said, well said. Kirsty's not online now. Kirsty's on the phone. Glenn and then Mark. Glenn, what's your thoughts there, dude?
Okay, I love this. I could talk about this for hours, from the quality of your songwriting and playing to the batteries in any pedals you're using. So yeah, Tim, I loved it. It was great. It's great to see your PRS in action. And my favorite was the last song. I love the Hammond. I think I was hearing it back there, and just the expressiveness of your playing, and yeah, great lyrics too. I mean, blues, love it. Love the blues. So well done, man.
Thanks, Glenn. I appreciate it.
Well said. Mark and then Rich.
Yeah, hi Tim, how you doing?
All right, how are you, Mark?
Yeah, I'm okay, brother. Yeah, that was great. Fantastic blues. You know, I love the blues, and
Thank you.
great vocals, great bluesy vocals. You could hear Muddy Waters and BB King and Albert King coming through you there. Very impressive, very impressive. And from one person to another who does everything himself, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Well said. Rich and then the two ladies, Kirsty and Pretty. Rich.
Yeah, my man. I love you, buddy. I got to tell you, having your equipment fail and you keep on singing and you don't lose a beat, that's professionalism at its finest, my friend. We've all had a tube blow, a pedal go, a string break, something, and you just find a way to keep going. That's a true professional. Good for you. Hats off. You know, I love what a music does, the emotions that it brings. I seriously saw myself with about 4 pints in front of me, the room getting hazy, my friends giving me toasts and cheering, and some band playing in a smoky-filled cabaret somewhere. I mean, it's so beautiful. I love that kind of stuff. And one other thing I'm trying to picture, I'm listening to your playing. You're so expressive on your held notes. All your lines roll into everything so beautifully. There's no fragmentation. It's so expressive. I'm thinking, who the hell does this remind me of? Finally got a third track. Roy Buchanan. Great guitar player, Roy Buchanan. Absolutely awesome.
Roy Buchanan.
Yes, you have so many shades, which I hope you take as a compliment, because I hate telling people, oh, you sound just like. Now, you don't sound just like. You play in a style similar to his. And it's an awesome style. Like, I love Roy Buchanan. I love what you're doing. I could listen to you play forever, man. Tim, great stuff. Keep it going, buddy.
I've stole licks from literally all of them.
We all have, haven't we?
Yes.
You know, I heard Elvis Costello once interviewed, and he said that, you know, everybody just borrows from one another. That's what us musicians do.
Right. And you know, today I was actually more nervous playing for you guys because you all are the professionals. And I'm like, man, I'd rather go out and play for a crowd of 200 or 300.
There's some truth to that, isn't there?
Yes. And I did make a couple of mistakes that I was like in the middle of my head going, dang it.
I know. We all do, don't we? That's music, man. We're not perfect. We all make mistakes.
But I appreciate
Great stuff, Tim. Love it. Love it.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Kirsty, then Pretty, and then our next guest, Steve. Kirsty.
Hey Tim, I'm so pleased I heard you on the electric guitar. You're incredible. We've only heard you acoustically. It's really nice to see that other side of you. Really well done. I really enjoyed it, Tim. Really good stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, that's my normal side right there. Acoustic is my abnormal side. So.
No, I loved hearing it. It's brilliant. And the sound came through really well as well.
Thank you. I worked on this setup and listened to it. Recorded it actually and listened to it and tried to get everything.
You've done really well, Tim.
Just right. So thank you.
Smashed it.
No, well said. Pretty.
I didn't hear you make any mistakes. So well done.
Well,
I love your full chords. I love the last song, the dynamic in the chords, especially in the Hammond. Indeed, the drama in it. Loved it very much, and I think you're a great guitar player. I must admit, I don't know that much about guitar playing, but I do love it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well said. That was a lovely compliment. Steve Andrews, what's your thoughts before we get to your section, young man?
Tim, I thought that was absolutely amazing. You know, that guitar playing was up there with any of the greats, you know, the blues players, any of them. It was that good. It was amazing.
Thank you.
And the other thing that I wanted to say, well, actually, Rich beat me to it, when you had the technical problems, you kept on going and you held it together. And that was,
Right.
as Rich said, professional. You know, top marks for that. Fantastic. And one more
Thank you.
thing I wanted to say. A couple of us were talking about Pretty's piano playing, how there was the emotion was coming through. You
Right.
did the same. You were emotional playing in your guitar work. Fantastic.
you.
And the
Thank
blues
you.
is supposed to be about playing the blues, you know, getting it out. You did
Right.
it. Amazing.
Man, I appreciate that so much, you guys. Thank you.
You're
Well
welcome.
said, Steve. Tim, you're one in a million. You're an absolute, you're the sweetest man I know alive, honestly. Tim Collins, everybody, absolute legendary.
Can I just, can I add another visual too? I forgot to mention, just going along the lines of what Steve and Rich said visually, when you had your technical difficulties, I was picturing, you know, you just kept it going, and I pictured a roadie, you know, the old visual of the roadie running out and
Right.
messing with the chords and trying to fix it, and you were your own roadie. So that was really well done and great, just great job. So.
And I want to add one more thing.
Okay,
before we
sure,
get going.
Rich.
Go ahead, Tim. No. I just wanted the comment from what I did to what Pre did to what Tim did. I love this family. We just had three so different, contrasting styles back to back. This is great stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
agree.
was gonna say too, I've been writing some songs lately, just taking a break from social media 100% and back to writing and feeling inspired. And this is really inspiring me. So the first thing I'll be doing after this is done is picking up my guitar and carrying on with that. So yeah, what greater compliment, right? Well done, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
And as well said, and Glenn, if you can be a guest next Sunday, we're doing this every Sunday now. So if you've got a couple of songs in you next week, just let us know.
I've got lots of songs in me, but we'd have to suffer my voice. So I don't know. We'll see what we can do.
As soon as your voice is healthy, just click your fingers, you'll be on the shows. Tim Consley, everybody, cheers, Tim.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wonderful guy. So we're going to pass the floor over to Steve Andrews to introduce yourself, and yeah, take the floor, Steve.
Thank you, Mark. Okay, I introduce myself. Well, I'm originally from Wales. I'm now living in Portugal. I'm a singer-songwriter and an author, a poet and a naturalist and an activist. And that's probably, you know, enough about me as an introduction. I'll get on with my songs. The first song I'm going to do is a song called Real Love Communication. A little bit about this song. There are actually many stories about it, but the one I want to tell you is I lived in Tenerife for quite a while, and I worked in a Spanish school there. And 2 weeks after actually starting at that school, I found out they were going to be having a peace day, and all the children were learning John Lennon's Imagine. And I said to the English teacher, I said, look, I've got a song that I think, you know, might be suitable as well for Peace Day. She said, okay, well, you know, let's hear it. I played her the song, and she said, yes, this is great. So she had lyric sheets printed off for all the kids to, you know, to be learning this one as well. And I was up on the stage on Peace Day with the English teacher and with a class of children all behind me, and they were singing the chorus, which goes, we all need a real love and communication. Yes, we do. We all need a real love and communication. And what happened was probably the greatest compliment I've ever had. There was a little boy called Juan, and he said, you know, Steve, I think this John Lennon song is very good, but your song is beautiful and is better than the John Lennon song. Now, you know, what could I say to that? What a compliment. Anyway, I'll play you the song.
Let's go, brother.
Too much hate in the world, too much pain in the world, too much violence in the world, too much poverty in the world, too much greed in the world. Too many fears in the world, too many racketeers in the world. There's too much crime in the world, too many doing time in the world, too much slavery, not enough bravery in the world. We all need a real love and communication. Yes, we do. We all need a real love and communication. There's too many lies in the world, too many that die in the world, too many questions why in the world. There's too many guns in the world, too much not done in the world, nowhere you can run in the world. We all need a real love and communication. Yes, we do. We all need a real love and communication. One more time, we all need a real love and communication. You know we do. We all need a real love and communication.
Beautiful
Thank
track,
you,
Steve.
everyone.
Beautiful. Just continue. What's up next, brother? What's the next one? Very eager to hear it.
My next song is my song about plastic pollution. And I told you that I'm an author. Well, I'm just going to show you, this is my book, well, one of my books, Saving Mother Ocean. And the story of this song you're about to hear, Where Does All the Plastic Go, is in this book, and the lyrics. And it's also on this album, which was produced by Jace Lewis. And it's on there. So, now to the song, Where Does All the Plastic Go? Plastic plants, what about real plants? I saw the fake ones at the store. People must want them, people must buy them. I don't want to see anymore. Where does all the plastic go? Into the sea, into the sea. How does it get there and threw it away? Was it you or was it me? It's not hunting that'll kill the last whale. Plastic will do it, it's a very sad tale. And all the albatrosses are dying out too. They keep on fishing in the oceans. Plastic stew. Where does all the plastic go? Into the sea, into the sea. How does it get there and threw it away? Was it you? Was it me? The plastic bag I bought, it very quickly broke. If it ever gets burned, there'll be poisonous smoke. Where does all the plastic go? Into the sea, into the sea. How does it get there and threw it away? Was it you or was it me? Now plastic kills the turtles, it's eaten by the fish. Plastic's in the food chain and the dinner on your dish. Where does all the plastic go? Into the sea, into the sea. How does it get there and threw it away? Was it you? Was it me? Was it you? Was it me? Was it you? Was it me?
One more song. One more song.
Thank you very much. Okay, one more song. And a little bit about this song. And a prop. and a prop. And this is a song audience participation. You can all participate in this one. And okay, the participation is you can all say yeah when I say yeah. And the song is called Butterfly in My Beard. And when I say make a butterfly, this is how you make butterflies. Tim's already got it. Tim can make butterflies. Mark can make butterflies. Okay, this is good. So I will insert this butterfly in my beard, like so. And I will tell you one more thing. In the second verse, I say, they called me the bug man in the news one time. And they really did. There you are. You can see this newspaper story here on the South Wales Echo, Catch the Bug, Special World of Insects for Steve. And it says, Bugman Steve Andrews loves coming eye to eye with the insect world, which is true because I rear butterflies and I used to keep stick insects and yeah. So I really am a bug man. So this song is based on some truth and I really have had butterflies in my beards, although this one is a fake one. Anyway, here we go. I had a butterfly in my beard, oh yeah. I had a butterfly in my beard, oh yeah. I had a butterfly in my beard. It looked pretty strange, it looked pretty weird. I had a butterfly in my beard, oh yeah. They called me the bug man on the news one time. They called me the bug man on the news one time. They called me the bug man on the news. A hissing cockroach on my head got plenty of views. They called me the bug man on the news one time. Now this is the butterfly making verse coming up. So you can all make some butterflies. Let's have some audience participation. Oh, this is looking good. I can see the butterflies coming up there live on the screen. Let's do it together. Make a butterfly and fly with me. Say yeah. And come on, say yeah. Oh, make a butterfly and fly with me. Say yeah. Say yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Make a butterfly and fly with me. Go anywhere that's all. Be really, really free. Make a butterfly and fly with me. Say yeah. Say yeah.
Oh yeah.
You all know how to make butterflies and you all must know how to say yeah. So we're gonna do it one more time before I go. Make a butterfly and fly with me. Say yeah, say yeah, yeah. Butterfly and fly with me. Say yeah, say yeah, oh yeah. Make a butterfly and fly with me. Go anywhere at all. Be really, really free. Make a butterfly and fly with me. Say yeah.
Absolutely brilliant.
Thank you very
Steve.
much. Thank you.
Brilliant, man. I didn't expect anybody to be able to get, people to do that in a room, but you just did. So well done, well done. Let's start from Glenn, then Kirsty. Glenn.
Oh, Steve, that was amazing. Yeah. Wow. The last song was, I do some work with kids and sometimes I hear other people play songs for kids. And sometimes I kind of think, man, this is really, you're selling them short. They could appreciate something beyond, the very simple. And that song, man, that made me want to get a butterfly for my beard, and kids would love that. I don't know if you've ever played that for kids. Anyway, great song. The other songs, amazing. The first song was truly brilliant. I really loved it. just it was so powerful, and it was simple in its essence, but it just built such a powerful message. Yeah, it really hit me. And the second song, yeah, boy, the plastic in the ocean, that is just a horrific thing. And yeah, I don't even know what to say. It was hard for me to kind of get past that and really just enjoy the song. Although I hope you take that in the right spirit. It just the what's going on there is just criminal and tragic. So, but good on you to write a book and a song about it, because you just can't draw enough attention to that. So yeah, thanks. Great stuff. Loved it.
Well,
Thank you so much, Glenn. And I mean, I didn't tell you because, you know, in the book, and well, I'm telling you now, it's not just that song. I've got another song called Time for Ocean Aid, and I've got a whole idea for Ocean Aid concerts that I want to see, you know, to raise awareness and raise funds for all the people working on any ways at all of reversing the problems that we're having in the oceans. So that's a massive project, and I'm fully intending to get that done somehow. But that's Ocean Aid. And the other thing about that's my first song. Yeah, I know it's a simple song, but this is really because I don't play guitar very well. I'm not like, you know, some of you guys like Tim that can play guitar like really well. I can play chords, and that's me. But I use my chords to back my songs, and I just like to deliver a message, which I think I can do. And
well, you certainly did it there. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that guitar sounds beautiful. I felt as soon as I saw it, I wanted to be in the room with it. And it's a beautiful sounding instrument. So yeah, nothing disparaging about simple songs. A simple song is sometimes the hardest thing to do, and you did it just beautifully. So.
Again, thank you, Glenn. And I mean, I have done that song just a cappella, and I know it works a cappella, and that's taking it like even more basic, more simple. And that's how I work, you know, and we all work in different ways. So I appreciate all you've said. Oh, but I'm just going to say one more thing. The Butterfly song, adults love it just as much as children. And that I think is important, because we've all got children in us, yeah? And if we can all learn to be like more like children and to play more and to be like, you know, like kids are, that's got to be good. And so
that's the thing. Like with music, I often think you want to let the little kid out, right? We all want to let the little kid out to play in the sandbox, to create, to perform, all of those things. And you just did it beautifully there.
That's right. Well, yeah, thank you. Thank you again, Glenn.
I have to add one more thing. Your hat is smoking.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Well said. Well said. Let's see what we can do as a family to help Steve's cause, eh? Let's see what we can do in the long run. Kirsty, then Mickey. Kirsty.
Hey Steve, all your songs have got a message that you're trying to convey, and you do it so well. And Steve, I would have loved for you to be my teacher at school. 100%. I bet you're the coolest teacher ever.
Well, thank you, Kirsty. The children at the school in Garachico in Tenerife, they were fantastic. And I had to leave because I was only there for 4 months. I was replacing somebody on maternity leave, and they really didn't want me to go. You know, it was a really emotional day for me and for the children and for the teachers. It was crazy. And I loved it.
I can imagine.
Absolutely loved that job.
Such a lovable guy. Mickey, and then Tim. Mickey Jerry.
Aye, you have fun with your music. Total respect for you, man. If I'm still doing it at your age and having fun like that, I'll be a happy man. Well done.
Thank you, Mickey. Thank you.
I said it. Tim, and then Rich.
Steve, you might be the bug man, but those songs didn't bug me a bit. I love them, man. If there's one thing I can say about you, is you're authentic. What you see is what you get. You're very real, you're very authentic, and that comes across in your music, and I love it. And just like I think it was Glenn that said, you know, sometimes the simple songs are the hardest, but yours speak volumes. I mean, speak volumes. And I got to make a comment about your guitar, because I love the flame and that grain on top of that guitar. I mean, your wood grain on that is stupendous. That's when you picked it up and had it in the camera. I was just drawn right to it. So great guitar, great guy playing it, great guy writing the song, great guy singing it. You're fantastic, Steve.
Thank you so much, Tim. And just a little bit about the guitar. I actually got that guitar because, I think you know, certainly some of you know, I was in Britain's Got Talent in 2017, and I thought, and I was in Wales at the time because I was looking after my dad. So I didn't have a guitar over there, and I got a guitar. I thought, look, I've got to go on Britain's Got Talent. I better get something good. And I was in a guitar shop, and I had a look at all these guitars, and I thought, no, this is the one because it's got that fantastic woodwork. And I thought that kind of goes with my image. I'm a colorful person. Yeah, that's the one. So that's how that came about.
Yeah, it's a belter. Rich and then Pretty, there, our next guest, Mark. Rich?
Hey, Steve, I loved your stuff. I had so much fun listening to it for different reasons. And to give you some credit on the songwriting, you did some heavy duty left-hand curves with the 3 songs, 3 different topics, you know, and that's tough to do. So as a songwriter, I commend you for being able to shift like that on your themes and your subjects. And they all had something very important to say. Even somebody might say the butterfly is kind of light and fluffy, but sometimes light and fluffy is important too. It's just as important as some of the very hardcore messages, because we have to remember to be light and fluffy sometimes. And the anthemic qualities of the first song were brilliant. I sat listening to that as a songwriter, a fellow songwriter. I'm sure that everybody else, Glenn hinted at it. And you know, that was a well-crafted song. You took 3 chords and you put a great message behind them. And it had the anthemic qualities. I mean, Imagine itself isn't that complex a song, John Lennon's Imagine. You know, I think of the Byrds' Turn, 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 which quotes a whole bunch of biblical references, a time to dance, a time to build. And you sort of repeated that world, and it made me think of that. That's very anthemic, and it's powerful, powerful stuff. So as a songwriter, well done. Well done.
Thank you, Rich. And I just wanted to comment on that, what he was saying about it being anthemic. My producer, Jace Lewis, I don't know if you know who he is, but anyway, he's really well known in music. I was explaining to him one day, I said, look, Jace, with this song, Real Love and Communication, I had this vision of it being like a stadium-sized rock. I said, I could see myself, you know, on a really big stage somewhere, and all of the crowd sort of singing along with it. So I go, we all need a real love and communication, yes, we do. And then I could hear it from the crowd. We all need, and all of that could come together. And that's because I can hear what you can hear in it, the anthemic quality.
Yes,
Although
absolutely.
it's a really simple song, a 3-chord song, it doesn't matter because it's got that power. And I'm saying that because I believe that and I can see it. And so thank you for seeing that.
No, stick with it, Steve. I mean, it has got that power. And it must have sounded awesome to have a full children's choir. Like, it's perfectly suited for a children's choir singing that chorus. So that must have been pretty cool for you to front that.
Yeah, it was amazing. They were all like behind me on the stage, and these were Spanish children, so they were learning English, and they learned the English for that song to sing it behind me. It was great.
I'd love to see that one fully produced and fully done, Steve. That's awesome stuff. Good job.
Thank you.
Well said. Pretty? Oh, you're muted there. I'll just unmute you. You're muted. That's...
So, thank you so much for playing this whole. I wrote something down. I'm going to read it because I was afraid I forgot anything. I love your lyrics and the song "Love and Communication." I really think you can do better than John Lennon. It's really nice, and I love your topics. It's really touchy. It's from these days, and I actually I have a weakness for that when people can actually tell a story. Yeah, it matters a lot to me. I wrote something else down. I'm sorry, I have to do this because my English isn't so good. I love the sound of your guitar, and I also love your guitar. It's very nice, the woodcraft, and I think it's very touchy. It touched me.
Did you mention something about the titles of Steve's books? You'd like him to say, what is the title of your book again? Pretty's interested to share the titles of your books. Saving Mother Ocean.
Thank you, Pretty. And I'm just going to mention a couple of other. I've got some books about herbs. The one book is called Herbs of the Sun, Moon, and Planets, and I've got a book called Herbs of the Northern Shaman, Herbs of the Southern Shaman, and a book coming out February next year, but it's already available. You know, you can pre-order it, which takes me back to the butterflies. The book is called The Magic of Butterflies and Moths. And let me just I'll get a copy. Hang on a minute.
No worries, dude. Special guy, special man.
There is that one, and the one I just mentioned, Herbs of the Sun, Moon, and Planets. So there were 3 in my books. I've got 5 books out.
Thank you.
Absolutely wonderful. Well said, Pretty. And Mr. Story, before we get to your thoughts, Mark, you've got something in your beard. What's that in your beard?
Yeah. Look what he's done to me. I've got a butterfly in my beard.
Yeah, butterfly.
Yeah, where'd that come from?
Yeah, let's see some butterflies in the beards. Yeah.
Steve, I think you're absolute fun. You're a real fun guy, but what's great about it as well is you got a really serious message in there as well. So it's very, very easy to get into music. And I personally think, apart from having an amazing beard, you're a natural entertainer. Natural, 100%.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much, Mark.
You're welcome.
Well said. And Steve Andrews, thanks for being a wonderful guest, dude. Steve Andrews, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Till the next time. We've got 2 more. We've got Mr. Story and Mr. Jerry to come. So, Mr. Mark Story, take the floor, brother. And yeah, introduce yourself.
Hello.
And
Hello, everyone. How you doing? Okay, I'm going to do my first song. Is a song I wrote a few years ago when I was working in collaboration with an Indonesian guitarist called Tommy Maranua, and together we did an album under the name of the Maranua Story Project. But this is a song I wrote. I sent it to him, and he kind of gave it a massive production job. It's the title track of the album. It's called A Shoulder for the Crow, and the message of the song is that if you live in dark places, you've got to look out for the people that bring light into it. And 13 years ago or 14 years ago, I was very, very fortunate to have a woman come into my life who couldn't believe I wasn't playing music and encouraged me to do it. And here I am now. So it's all really thanks to her. It's called A Shoulder for the Crow. Cover me, let me hide inside me. Color me, shades of black and midnight blue. Only you can soothe my soul. Pick me up and take me home. Well, I smoke too many cigarettes, lose my head, I keep a mess. Dark's the only side I know. I got a shoulder on the road. One second away from the edge of destruction. One foot in the grave, one foot in the gutter. A loose cycle drama's got to kick back to you, dragging me back again. No one scares me like I do. No, no, no. Well, I smoke too many cigarettes. I lose my head and I get a mess. Dark to you, best side I know. I got a shoulder for the road. Well, I smoke too many cigarettes. Lose
shoulder.
Absolutely brilliant,
Thank
Mark. Absolutely brilliant. What did you say? You've got 2 originals and you're doing 1 cover?
Yeah, I could do that. You've got the time.
I can't wait to hear the next one. Yeah, just take the floor again, brother. What's next, Marky boy?
Well, this next song is actually a new song. It's I'm working on some tracks to do an album, and it's about people and how you can't, you got to keep your radar on to make sure you don't let the wrong people into your life. It's called Devils in the Detail.
Some people give for nothing, some as good as gold. Some will tell you anything to try and steal your soul. Some are meant to love, some love to hate. Some motherfuckers give you lemons all day and then piss in your lemonade. I said, well, I ain't no saint and I ain't no innocent. Nothing I can say and I don't say anything. The checks in the post when the head's in the bed. Gotta read between the lines, got the devils in the detail, yeah. Some kind of wonderful, some are hard to hold. Some have seen too many things that makes their blood run cold. Some look in the mirror, some just see the light. But when I find out who the hell I am, I'll be the day I leave this world behind. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I ain't no saint and I ain't no innocent. Got nothing not to say and I don't say anything. The checks in the post when the head's in the bed. Gotta read between the lines, got the devils in the detail. Better read between the lines, cause the devil's in the detail.
Fantastic, Mr. Redbeard. What's the cover you're going to do before we get the compliments in? What cover are you going to do?
I'm gonna do a blues cover. It's called I Just Want to Make Love to You.
Nice one.
I don't want you to be no slave. I don't want you, baby, to work all day. I don't want you to be true. I just want to make love to you. I don't want you to wash my clothes. I don't want you to make a home. I don't want your money too. I just want to make love to you, 'cause I can tell by the way that you switch and walk, by the way that you baby talk.
the way that you treat your man. I can love you, baby, like nobody can. I don't want you to bake my bread. I just want you, baby, to wreck my bed. I don't want you because I'm sad and blue. I just want to make love to you, love to you, love to you.
Mark Story, everyone. Mark Story. You know how much I love you, Mark. Let's start up the top this time. We'll go Pretty and then Rich. Pretty, what's your thoughts here, dear? Oh, still muted there. There you got it.
I had some trouble. I had some audio trouble at the first songs, which was such a shame. I didn't hear all of it, but what I did hear was some great chords, and I'm so sorry I couldn't get all of it.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I did. I really did. So I really hope to. I'm looking forward to hear more of you.
Thank you. Yeah, you too. You too.
Check Mark's Story out on all the platforms. Check him out on YouTube. You'll see him with his microphone and the light. Absolutely awesome. Rich and then Tim. Rich and then Tim.
Mark, I love you, bro. I love you, man. And, you know, and unfortunately, like Pretty said, I had a hard time with that first song because of the audio. And I wish I could have heard it better because all the stuff I've seen of you so far is all your blues slant, which I love. All of a sudden, these two originals have a whole different feel to them. I'm thinking, this is great stuff. I want to hear more of it. So I really encourage you to post more stuff like that, Mark. I mean, I love your blues stuff. But man, post some other stuff too. Like there's some great songwriting in there, man. I want to hear more of it. That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks. The first song, Shoulder for the Crow, is actually on my YouTube channel. You have to kind of go down the bottom, and it says MSP.
So it's there. I'll hunt for it now for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna look for it for sure.
And I've just been mixing Devils in the Detail. I mean, obviously, there's a lot more going on the production on the production side of it, but that's just the stripped back version. Cheers, Rich. I do appreciate your comments. Thank you, sir.
Well said, Mr. Tim Consley, then Steve Andrews.
Mark, you know I love you, man. You know that I absolutely love your music. And I'll tell you what, yeah, I had a little trouble hearing the first song, but what I heard of it, I really liked. The second song, that just really got me going. I loved it. I loved the beat. I loved the swagger of it. And then I Just Want to Make Love to You. That's an oldie, but a goodie. If I remember right, I think that goes all the way back 55, 60 years to Etta James. She was the first one to record that. And I loved it. Man, I could sit and listen to your music all day, bro. You're good.
Oh, cheers,
You're
Tim.
awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we've got some really, I don't know what it's like anywhere else, but we've got some horrific storms here at the moment, which is probably playing havoc with the Wi-Fi. But as long as some of it got through, I'm happy.
But you're awesome.
Until the next time, bro.
That's it. You're just plain awesome.
Well said. Mr. Andrews and then Glenn in Vancouver.
Mark, great songwriting, great songs, great cover, a classic song there. I love the way you did that, and really great beard as well.
Well,
Yes.
I think I'm going to rename the company Viking Promotions because of all these beards in it. That's awesome. From one beard to another beard, Glenn, what's your thoughts here, brother?
Mark, I really loved it. I agree with Rich. I was kind of just based on what I've seen, which is quite a few of your things. I was expecting kind of a bluesy thing. And those first two songs were not what I expected. And they were very, I loved them. I was lot of chord changes in there to support your melody, which I was kind of getting lost in that, just the style you have to reinforce the melody with those changes. You had a lot going on there, and I really, really liked that. Devil in the Detail, that's great. That's a great line, great lyric, and you had a lot of great lyrics in both the originals. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I just kind of knocked out, and maybe it really opened up another side of what you do. So, oh, and the other thing, you mentioned your lady that came into your life, and she kind of kicked your butt and got you out doing music, and the world is better for it. So keep going. And honestly, I think you mentioned a few weeks ago that you were, or somewhere, maybe it was in a thread, how, you know, you're trying to get out, you get the gumption up to get out and do it solo, do more solo things. So you just did that, and it was fantastic. Your voice is brilliant. It's captivating. The cover, I was just saying to Tim yesterday, you know, when I was a kid, one album that I loved, many people have done that song, of course, but one version that I was reminded of when you did it was on Foghat Live. And they did a real stadium version of that. But, so I was kind of digging that, the idea of how powerful the song is when you were doing it, and you did a fantastic version of it. I could talk for hours about. I loved it, man. I loved it. So it's been a pleasure to get to know you a bit, and it's a real pleasure to hear you play. And you're very inspiring for me, because I suffer a little bit probably from the same thing you've mentioned. Like, I consider myself more of a songwriter and a collaborator. I need a singer to, but you know, hey, maybe not so much. So, you know, yeah, well done. Loved it.
Yeah, when I finished with the band I was in, I got fed up with like being let down by people all the time. So I put the work in, and I did the covers. A lot of the covers I've got on YouTube, I did, and I tried to make them different. But that's kind of, people think that's what I do, but I do write a lot of stuff, but I haven't really put it out yet. So it will be coming out soon. But I've got to say, this is the first time I've played guitar to an audience on my own. The closest I got to it was I used to do a duo with a guy. We used to play the care home I worked in, and we do like old time music stuff. So I was honestly bricking it today, but I can't think of a better family to lose my cherry to than the Top Talent family.
Well said, Mark. Well said, Glenn. Mr. Jerry, what's your thoughts here before we get to your part, the final part of the evening? Mickey?
I had a bit of signal trouble, but I love what Mark's all about. I follow you on Facebook and stuff like that. Love your music, man. Rock and roll.
Thanks, Mickey. I'm looking forward to hearing you, man. Looking forward to it.
Well said, Mickey. And Mark Story, everyone. Thanks for being a wonderful guest here in the live lounge. Final part of the evening, I'll pass the floor over to Mickey Jerry. If you want to introduce yourself, Mickey, and then just take the floor, brother.
My name's Mickey Jerry. I write loads of songs. I'm going to play you one of my new ones. It's called Residentials.
Your hometown is your safety net. Some people live on top, scared to climb or venture, starting nothing they can stop. Settled in the ways they've grown accustomed to through time. Same shit, different days, weak-willed and narrow mind. It's somewhere you can land when your plans are falling through. Somewhere you can go when you've got nothing left to do. It's durable enough to stop a drop from any height. Why wouldn't you exploit that fact and climb with all of your might? First step off and upwards is the scariest of all. Residents attracted by the chance to watch you fall. Fuck them, you're ascending, keep your chin up on your climb. They're all stuck on that safety net that you bravely left behind. Focus on your future and be bold, show no fear.
Remove the residential negatives from your ears. They'll project concern around how capable they've been. Climb harder than they ever did. Do it, make them see. There's more to life than safety. Play it safe and stick around. Be struck down by disaster in your play it safe hometown. Or climb through thick and thin, arm's length after arm's length. Build yourself your empire. Believe you've got the strength. Keep moving, keep collecting. Gain your taste for bigger things. Keep a steady mind, not knowing what tomorrow brings. Don't become complacent, don't fall victim, don't forget. Home will always be there, it's your safety net.
That was lovely, Mickey. Wonderful, bro. What's next, dude? What's next? Another original or?
Yeah, mate, always original. This one's called Yes Man.
Yeah.
Every mirror I look in, I see an angry bastard of a yes man. The trouble he took in affected his lifelong plans. He was once a soldier, a survivalist in dog-eat-dog lands. Now his dreams are over, all I see is a broken man. I could strike the glass, replaced by an empty frame. It would suit me, I feel empty anyway. Leave the shattered mass of reflections on the floor. I don't like mirrors, I can't look anymore. When will I be happy? And where does the anger stem from? Why can't I face myself anymore? What have I become? I used to like who stood there. Now all I see is a broken soul with an angry, daunting stare. I could strike the glass, replaced by an empty frame. It would suit me, I feel empty anyway. Leave the shattered mass of reflections on the floor. I don't like mirrors, I can't look anymore. How long will this last? And how far can I go? How far will my past follow me home? How long will this last? And how far will I go? How far will my past follow me home? Every mirror I look in, I see an angry bastard of a yes man.
Mickey, wonderful, wonderful. One more song, brother, one more. What's the final song?
Right, this is a new one as well. This is called The Open Unknown. Feel the love, now take it into tonight. In the open unknown, who knows what we you might find. We'll keep running, living free. Times like these were made for you and me. Happy on a different level. Another dance off with the devil. My money's on you. I've seen your moves. You beat him last time he came through. At the end, it will all be worth it. Take your victory, reclaim purpose. Believe you have won in the name of your son. There is no better reason to run. Forget your issues. Remember who is with you and have your fun. You don't know when your time is done. So forget your issues and remember it's running, living free. In the open unknown, taking care of times like these. And keep on smiling, you ain't doing wrong. Do whatever works for you to help keep you strong. Happy on a different level. Another dance off with the devil. My money's on you. I've seen your moves. You beat him last time we came through. At the end, it will all be worth it. Take your victory, reclaim purpose. Believe you have won in the name of your son. There is no better reason to run. Forget your issues. Remember who is with you and have your fun. You don't know when your time is done. So forget your issues and remember there's running, living free. In the open unknown, taking care of times like these. And times like these were made for you and me. Just keep on running, living free.
Cheers.
Mickey, Jerry, everyone. Hey, Mickey, dude, just keep being you, brother. Keep being you. I know you're still in a lot of pain, man, and you can see that. But you know something, music will get you through it. It's the only thing that can.
Aye, man.
I'll start with the top again. We'll go Pretty and then Rich. Pretty and then Rich.
All right. I love your voice. Very, very nice voice, and I love your songs as well.
Thank you.
I actually have a question about your second song. Is there something you would like to tell about it? Would you perhaps tell why you wrote it?
It was in a pretty dark. I don't want to say a pretty dark place, but I wasn't having a very good time in my life, and I wasn't enjoying who I was turning into. I wasn't doing a lot of music at the time. I was just really depressed, and I wrote that, and it kind of lifted me from the depression. And that's really all I have about it. Came out of nowhere, and it's good.
So honest, such an honest song, and very, very good. I hope did it relieve you a bit after writing?
Yep. I use songwriting as therapy. I've got some mental health issues and stuff like that, and songwriting. When I went and seen a psychiatrist about 6 years ago, and he told me, I told him I played the guitar and stuff, and he told me to start writing my thoughts down. So I use it for therapy. So a lot of my songs have got a lot of relatability because of that, because of mental health and all that kind of stuff. They've all got that kind of edge to them. And that's where they come from, really. So
really
I've got quite a
helps.
lot of songs with that kind of feel.
Yes, it really helps, I guess, and I think those are the most valuable songs. So please continue. I hope you feel better, by the way. I really do, but it's still it's
Even
really
better.
love. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well said, Pretty. Rich, and then Tim.
Mickey, I absolutely love your songwriting. There's a groove to every one of your songs, a laid back, funky, cool groove. And, you know, I put you in the ranks of, I mean, and these are great songwriters, and you're writing levels that Don McLean, Van Morrison, Paul Simon, Jim Croce, you're writing that level of stuff. And one of the things I love about what you're doing is you're lyrically heavy, which is extremely tough to pull off, to have so many different lines and so many different phrases. But you do things, you use cheetah rhymes beautifully. I call them cheetah rhymes, words that don't necessarily rhyme, but they sound similar. You use them beautifully, you phrase them perfectly, and you weave this story of all these lyrics that work, like really work. And that's what great songwriters do. Like, holy cow, you have to keep producing this stuff, man. Like, good on you. I mean, I rank you as a top quality songwriter. Keep it going, Mickey. Great stuff, man.
What a compliment that was, Rich. Well said, dude. Tim, and then Mark Story. Tim?
I agree with Rich. You are a great songwriter, and your voice is just very soothing, especially on that last song. Man, I could just see myself relaxing in a hammock under a tree, listening to stuff like that, and just being very soothed by it. And if it's soothing me, I know that it has to be soothing you. And so I appreciate that. Residentials, I just listened to that yesterday. I watched the video that you posted, and that's a great song, as well as all three of them were. And I just want to say my hat's off to you. Excellent songwriting, excellent singing, excellent guitar skills, just all around a great entertainer, bud.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And well done for keeping everything together after the worst news anybody could ever get. You know, Mickey, you know, love you to bits, man.
I think I've wrote about a dozen songs since, so they're churning them out. They keep coming, so I'm just going to keep writing them down, keep creating magic. So
absolutely, and more than anything, keep strong as well for everybody. You know, you need to, bro. Mark Story, then Steve, and then Glenn. Our final compliment. Leave then Story.
Yeah, Mickey, that was great. It's from the heart, you could tell, 100%. Very personal. Yeah, you know, wrestling with demons is never easy, but it's true that music will get you through. It got me through some tough times. I love the way that your lyrics are very dark, but your music is very light, so they kind of balance each other out. So you're singing about something that's, you know, possibly quite melancholy. You're presenting it in a way which is quite uplifting. The vocals fit really well with the chords. I think you're a real talent, and keep on doing what you're doing. It's awesome, mate. Well done.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Mark.
Well said. Steve?
Well, what I've got to say is, first of all, I thought the songwriting was brilliant, fantastic lyrics, and your voice, how you present the songs, really came over. I got this. There was a kind of a reggae feel there, and a kind of a funky feel, and that kind of, you know, that was like a contrast, but it also worked with the lyrics. And I kept thinking that those songs they were fantastic with just you performing them, but they'd also be great with a full band or with like studio production behind them. They worked on their own, or they could work with a band. And what I was just thinking as well was that, you know, what was just said about like the dark content, and at the same time the contrast to that light feel with the music and with a band. Leonard Cohen, who did some really dark stuff. Leonard songs could work with a band. In fact, Leonard was often like really on top form when he had a band behind him. So I don't think it matters. I think it's quite possible to do dark songs with a band. And your songwriting is just top quality. And I'll leave it there.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Glenn?
Mickey, really, I loved what you were doing there. There was a lot to take in, a lot going on. I loved really loved Yes Man, if that was the correct title of the second song. I really loved that. The music it stood on its own as very beautiful, and a lot of anger in the lyrics that came through, but that's not always easy to do because there seemed like there was some sort of self-loathing there. And you really sort of made that relatable, because I know we've all felt that, but it's a real fine line when you write a song like that. Whether it just is like, you can make the listener a tourist, or you can bring them in as a like-minded, someone who's shared that experience. So yeah, I loved that song. I thought it was brilliant. I'd love to hear it again, which is, the ultimate compliment perhaps. And the last song for me, the final song, Open Unknown, that was brilliant. I couldn't help think if the three songs represented an album, which, if, in a way, that song and I have no doubt that an album of yours would be a journey. That last song had such an optimism to it that I just think minimal production, even just you and the guitar as a final song, write that down, because consider it anyway, because I think it would be a great last song on a album full of, a lot of heavy experiences. So, and yeah, and like everyone else has said, it's a pleasure to meet you, and keep doing what you're doing, and let music be your guide, because you're serving it. You're serving your muse well. Well done.
Thank you.
Well said, and thanks to everybody who's come. Thanks to Mickey for being a marvelous guest. And yeah, Mickey, Jerry, Steve Andrews, Mark Story, Tim Consley, Priti Bernicki, Rich Chambers, the guest tonight. Thank you. Glenn, you've come and witnessed the full show. Thank you, brother. To my wee mum, to Kirsty, and a couple other people that come in. Thank you. This has been the Live Lounge, episode 1. We'll be back every Sunday. So bye-bye, Facebook. And then I'll stop the real recording with, come on, peace signs, World peace, everyone. Let's go for it. 1, 2, 3. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen.